Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Your presence means the world to me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here as we tackle Seaton Ross. Seaton Ross is a village and civil parish in the East Riding of Yorkshire, England. It is situated approximately west of the market town of Market Weighton and north-west of the village of Holme-on-Spalding-Moor. It lies to the south of the road and north of the road. According to the 2011 UK census, Seaton Ross parish had a population of 565, an increase on the 2001 UK census figure of 545. In this section, we'll be shedding light on history and its impact on our understanding of the subject. The village was recorded in the 11th century Domesday book using its original name of Seaton or Seton. This name was derived from the Old English words sea meaning a body of water and ton meaning an enclosure or farmstead. The body of water probably refers to the wetlands east of the village and towards Holme-upon-Spalding-Moor, itself built on a marsh, which have been drained and cultivated since that time. Aside from recording the village's name, the book also shows that the area was an established manor before Norman times, paying a significant amount of tax in comparison to its size, although several other settlements are included in the assessment saying, Seton, Gommel had one manor of 4 carcates for geld and 2 ploughs can be there. The quote then continues, Now Nidal has it of the Count of Mortain, and it is waste, which is a reference to the land being subsequently seized and laid waste by William the Conqueror during his Scorched Earth campaign to end dissent in the north. The dramatic effect of this action can be seen in the value of the land, which fell from £40 sterling per year to only £1 sterling per year in the period to 1086 following William's campaign. The newly installed ruling family, the Satons, held the land for a time until they had their property seized as a result of their support of the Scots during the reign of Edward I, and tenure was passed to Edmund de Morley as a reward for his support of the king. The village was passed by descent to the de Ross family, who owned much land in the area including that of the nearby villages of Storwood and Melbourne, and the village came to be referred to as Seaton Ross for the first time. The land was again confiscated due to Baron de Ross' support of the House of Lancaster during the Wars of the Roses and passed to the Earl of Worcester, from where it eventually found its way into the hands of the Everingham estate. One of the oldest buildings in the village is St Edmund's Church, whose current structure dates from 1789 and is built on the foundations of an earlier church which can trace its records back to 1653. The church also has a Norman font attesting to an even earlier origin. The church was designated a Grade I listed building in 1967. Another site of historical note is the Lady Well, a natural spring located in fields south of the village. Not much is known of the history of this spring, but as with other such sacred pools in the county, it is likely to be a place formerly dedicated to the goddess Freya and reappropriated by early Christian missionaries as a shrine to the Virgin Mary. Crop markings dating from the Iron and Roman ages have been identified in fields near this natural spring. The village had always been a farming area, with several large farms which survive to the present day. However, by the 18th century the village was also noted for its production of bricks that went into the construction of many of its current structures, such as the brick parish church. The village's prosperity was becoming more obvious, with a large proportion of its original dwellings rebuilt in brick by the Everingham estate and new buildings springing up, the Wesleyan Chapel, the Methodist Chapel, the Post Office, the 2 mills and the village school, now the village hall. The village also became home to one of Britain's largest sundials, measured at 12 feet in diameter and built by local surveyor William Watson, as well as another 2 located at Watson's family home and on his memorial at St Edmund's Church. The celebration of Seaton Ross's prosperity as a parish culminated in the beginning of the famous Seaton Ross Show, which began as a village feast and grew into an annual 2-day fair of produce, livestock, crafts and country sports. It continued as Seaton Ross Feast, which was celebrated annually until 2007. After a break of 7 years, Seaton Ross Fest, a small music festival, was started to create a community event in lieu of the feast. The village currently maintains a children's play area, playing fields, the village hall, the village nature plot and its public house, the Black Horse. In this chapter, we'll be unraveling the enigma of RAF Melbourne and discovering its transformative power. From 1940, the East Common was requisitioned by the Royal Air Force as a light airfield and named RAF Melbourne. It was later rebuilt as a standard RAF Bomber Command base from which for engined aircraft flew operational sorties. The airfield had a large impact on the village, which named one of its public houses after the inhabitants of the station, the Bombers, and had a bench erected in memory of the association in 1986, and at one time the restaurant ceiling to the public house was formed from DH mosquito wing skins. There is also a memorial outside the village dedicated to the crews of the 109 aircraft that were lost from the airfield. The airfield ceased operations in 1945 and stopped flights in 1946. It is now owned by Melrose Farm Limited, who rent the old runways to York Raceway throughout the summer. I appreciate your time and I'm grateful for every like, comment, and share.